Next is Walter versus Ciampa.
This was great.
Walter.
This is exactly.
Yeah.
You know, every match can't be like this because guys would just you can't beat each other up just like this
Not
in wrestling. But like
around.
but for a big match, this is how guys should
Plus,
work.
Here's another guy like LA Knight that looks the part, you know, not in shape, from Austria, big old boy, and he wrestles, you know, very stiff. Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's not in shape.
Well, bro, he physically doesn't look.
No.
He's got the Steven Regal.
Not ripped.
He's got the Steven Regal build.
Yeah, but you look at look at Daniel Cormier.
Yeah.
Guy's a world champ, and like I said,
Right.
so I wouldn't say.
Well, I'm not saying he doesn't. He's not conditioned.
No, he doesn't look like he's in shape.
Right, he doesn't look like
he's in shape.
Yeah,
but he's obviously
No, and he's one of those
obviously in
guys
shape.
that like when I see him, I know on. Like it's gonna be serious. Like he's not there to make me laugh. He's not there.
Around.
Like
Bro,
he's gonna someone up, and I like that.
And I like his group of the Imperium because it almost looks like they're gonna do. You almost think they're gonna break out in the Heil Hitler or something.
They all stand serious.
Let me give you some advice. Let me tell you advice that I've heard.
All right, you're okay.
Yeah.
And advice I gave to Cross and everybody I train and all the guys I've trained that are like big guys and killer looking guys and stuff, everything. I give them the same advice, and I know Walter has gotten the same advice that I've given from another veteran that has repeated this. Right? Get your in and apologize later. Right? Walter doesn't give a. I'm going to get my in. I may rough you up. I may hurt you. But I'm not going to look bad. I'm going to look vicious. And when the match is over, I'll apologize.
I'll buy you a beer.
Okay, bro. That's that. Honestly, look at the guys that work that way.
Mm-hmm.
They're over. You know, it's that apologize. Get your in and apologize afterwards. You know, if you got to rough a guy up, do it. If it's going to get you over. And the guy is going to let you do it and apologize afterwards. And that's what these guys do, and that's why they're at the top of the card.
The thing, there's two things I think about this match, and it's like, number one, like Walter, everything he does, you could believe if it was the finish, you'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Like everything he does is believable.
Bro,
he can beat somebody with a body slam, and you'd be like, yep. There's
so many guys in the UK system that will work like that. That Devin,
like you always say,
let's go to the cruiserweight match against the what's his name? Devlin.
Jordan Devlin.
Jordan Devlin.
Yeah.
He works like that. These guys, they all work very Pete Dunne, very physical, very it's good work.
Like you always say, like Disco, you always say that this to me really shows the difference. This really shows the difference between AEW and WWE's presentation, because look at the way Walter is presented as compared to what they do with Miro.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's a physical killer.
You're watching Walter Ciampa. And you turn to the other channel, you got guys slapping their legs trying to simulate the sounds, and you got Walter literally chopping the guy in the chest.
Not only that, imagine Mark. Imagine if Miro was in NXT, the type of match he'd have with Walter, because Miro looks like he can bring it.
Miro used to work in NXT.
He does.
He still works like that. He still works like that, but he like.
Yeah, but they
like when his
video games and like
right.
It's because you broke his controller.
So the next match is the tag team
with his Minnie Mouse.
I was not interested in any of this. The MSK one.
MSK, yeah.
I will say this: I thought MSK looked incredible in this match.
They did
good work, man. It is good work.
They did good.
Definitely.
I would have rather just seen MSK against the Phantasma guys. Like the grizzled young vets, they don't. I don't know how to react to them.
It's a corny gimmick.
They look like an
grizzled young vets. It's like such a smart term for
I like the part when remember when they were like doing some hold in the corner and the guy came and kicked his hand.
Oh yeah.
He was selling his hand and then he was gonna tap out and his partner held his hand so he wouldn't tap out. The MSK, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
good bit of storytelling.
So Io Shirai versus Raquel Gonzalez. They obviously put the right person over, and this is what's weird. It's like I want to. Every time I watch Io Shirai, I look at her before the match starts, and I said that, if I'm a fan, if I'm changing the channel and I'm looking at this, I'm looking at like this small girl, and I'm like, how could she possibly be fighting this person?
Yeah.
But the problem with Io Shirai is you have to watch, okay? Like, I think when she wrestles, the channel surfer, the people that they're looking at this and they're like, oh, this girl doesn't know how to work. But she, for her size, gets more mileage out of offense for her size that makes the match look believable because she's got a lot of fire and a lot of energy in her strikes and stuff. And I'm like, watch, so like I want to like say like this looks ridiculous, Raquel Gonzalez versus Io Shirai, but she does enough stuff in the match to make it believable. She's a good worker, but she's just too small. She's like one of those great workers.
I agree, but
actually, real quick. She's not too small in effect of like if you put her in AEW, she'd be too small. She's too small because like Raquel Gonzalez, Rhea Ripley, these girls are just bigger. And it's like the presence of Raquel and Charlotte,
Mercedes,
Rhea Ripley, Mercedes, the presence of these girls is kind of problematic for the women's division because now we have to think like, okay, can these little girls really actually fight against these big girls?
Well,
because the big girls are
the
really
Rey
good.
Mysterio of the women's division.
Right, exactly. Because these big girls are good workers and their stuff looks believable. And it's hard pressed to find like a smaller girl that would be believable against these big girls because their work is so good. Bro, they should bring all these big girls up on the show and bring back Ronda. Like Ronda Rousey could have a slew of girls that she like Rhea, Raquel, Mercedes, like they got 2 years worth of angles for Ronda Rousey to work through like these chicks on that
Disco
that the main roster.
That Nick Khan dude from WWE, he just was interviewed recently and said that Ronda and Becky Lynch will both be back very soon.
That's good.
And also because she doesn't have the makeup that you don't like, Disco. She doesn't have all that crazy, and she doesn't scream. She doesn't do any of that stuff. So
here's the thing with Io Shirai. She's like the Johnny Gargano. I think Vince just looks at her and she's a good worker, but she's just too small. That's why Vince probably like seeing Raquel Gonzalez, Rhea Ripley. He's looking at these girls and like going like, "Hey, these girls look good." They're not like super great. Like they're not like Playboy centerfolds, but they're hot. To a lot of people, and they're big and they're athletic, and their work is solid. Their work is strong, and they look like they look good. Like I'm saying, there's a lot of girls in that main roster right now.
Credibility to the sport.
And there's a lot of girls in the main roster in WWE. The women, they got to be looking at these chicks and saying, "My spot is not safe."
Well, I can say this: for many, many, many years, the Japanese women were leagues ahead of anybody. Okay, and now it's the NXT
physicality.
Women.
Yeah, and physicality, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But, although I wouldn't mind seeing their centerfolds.
But I'll say
Io Shirai is worlds apart from what's the girls, the Shida or whatever, the AEW the champion.
Yeah,
that's not even remotely in the same.
Like
here's the thing. Here's the thing. All right, the WWE Women's Division, from a marketing standpoint, looks like a bunch of hot Instagram models. Okay, and they look like a bunch of hot Instagram models doing Instagram model things out there and stuff and all that. So now it's like, and that's what they look like. And like their work is solid, their work is decent, they're all professional, but like my visual picture is they're selling them it's like as kind of like the Instagram model look. They're all dressed to the nines, they all have hot outfits on, but we're not going there. Like we're not going to their Instagram pages and showing pictures of these girls, we're just highlighting their work, right? So now all of a sudden we've got a couple big girls that maybe they're not as hot as some of these girls on the WWE system, like the smaller girls, but you look at their Instagram pages and they look hot enough, and their work is convincing that they should come up there and beat the shit out of these smaller girls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the visual picture that the WWE is creating in their system right now. You got a bunch of big girls that work good enough to look like they should start squashing these other girls, and bro, they should. Like Rhea Ripley and Sasha Banks should not have a 15-minute match. Rhea Ripley and Bayley should not have a 15-minute match. And they probably will, right? But
it'll be an Iron Woman match.
I'm going to say it. And who's the girl that just won tonight? Gonzalez. She doesn't look like she should go toe to toe with any of those chicks. The girls that look like they should go toe to toe with
Charlotte would be great.
Charlotte, maybe Becky Lynch because she's like a fighter and rough and everything. Nia,
and like how you said, Ronda.
Ronda. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That they've got a good potential here to like really build the women's division. If
maybe even Shayna Baszler.
I was exactly going to say maybe Shayna.
Yeah, but Shayna Baszler's strikes are terrible. She's a shoot fighter that should.
Yeah,
but she
needs to get away from Nia Jax too.
Yeah, she does.
Bro, you should have seen her when she started NXT. She looked good. They messed her up with the biting people and
the biting. Yeah, the biting's like what the.
I think they really might have screwed up the smaller girl, Xia Li or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they could have built her a lot better, but now she's going 50-50 with like Casey, whatever,
No. That was a handicap match though. That was a handicap.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
There was a one on week to week.
It was one on. No. She wasn't going 50. That was one because I looked at it.
Okay.
Her partner got hurt. So she was doing 1-on-2, like against the other stuff. So yeah.
Well, let me tell you something about Raquel Gonzalez. Just like you said, get your shit in and then later on worry about it.
Yeah.
Another thing, one of my pet peeves, like you're a heel, don't mark out when you win the championship. She was almost crying, jumping up and down, going like acting kind of like a fanboy. It's like, bro, just hold that up and get excited in the dressing room. Like I'll tell you another one I don't like. I hate when like a heel and a babyface have a really good match and then they shake hands and hug in front of everybody so everybody can go, this is awesome. Bro, do that in the dressing room. Tell them thank you in the dressing room, not in front of the fans.